Apollo, Herma, and Ather ran passing drills for lacrosse practice in Kings Park as usual. Apollo was tall and thin. He had short blonde hair and was pale with bright blue eyes. Herma was short and tan. She had black hair and green eyes. Ather was medium in height and skin tone. He had brown eyes and longer brown hair. Kings Park was a very scenic park that had anything anyone would want in it. There's a long trail for runners and bike riders. It had a playground for children, a hockey rink, 3 basketball courts, 2 soccer fields, and 2 baseball fields, and lastly, a lacrosse field. As they were practicing, time got away from them, and they started to notice how hot it was getting, and so did their coach Zeus. Zeus was almost like a father figure to Apollo, Herma, and Ather. He has been the coach of the Titans since they were in 1st grade when they first started to play lacrosse. Apollo walked over to Zeus because he was the captain of the team and asked him if he wanted them to work on anything else for the day. Apollo asked because it was starting to be extremely hot and he and his teammates wanted to go to the pool since it was right across the street. Zeus said, "Yeah, Apollo, that would be fine. You guys did well today and you deserve it." Apollo said, "Thanks, coach, you're the best," while calling his teammates over. Apollo, Herma, and Ather quickly walked across the street to the pool. All of a sudden, Herma stopped and said, "Guys, look who's here." Apollo and Ather looked up and saw the horrible Erebus, Tartarus, and lastly Nemesis, the player from the most terrible, unfair team in the city. The Outlaws were a good team except for the fact that they cheat. The 3 of them were standing there with their lacrosse sticks, wearing their team pennies. The pennies were all black. It just makes them look fierce. Erebus is the goalie of the team. He is one of the meanest players of the team. His stick just shows it. Erebus's stick is an all-black warrior shaft, head, and netting. Erebus's look was also mean. He was pale, had dark eyes, his hair looked gray, and was slicked straight back. Tartarus was next. He was standing there just eyeing up the Titans. Tartarus was the cheapest player on the team. He would take any cheap shot if he had the opportunity as long as the referee wasn't looking. He was carrying his STX Professor on an STX 6000. The stick was blacked out just like Erebus's. Tartarus had a very tough look to him. He was stocky and muscular. He had a short buzz cut and had a look on his face that he didn't care. Lastly was Nemesis. Nemesis was the captain of the Outlaws. She carried a long pole that was made by STX called the Revenge. The stick was different from her teammates. It had a red head and shaft with black paint details that looked like they were tightly wrapped around it. Her netting was all black with little red strings tying everything together. She had long jet black hair with her red streaks dyed in it. Her skin was whiter than snow and her eyes were a fierce gray color. One look from her would send the shivers through your body. "Walk the other way, guys. Let's try not to get it into anything," Apollo said to his teammates, just as they turned to walk away and they heard Nemesis' low, flat voice say, "Hey, look, there goes the scared little Titans. What's wrong, Apollo? Are you and your team afraid of us?" "No," Apollo said, stopping suddenly to turn and face her. Herma and Ather almost running into him. "We just do not want to start anything. How about your team and my team just stay away from each other, okay, Nemesis?" Nemesis laughed at this, saying, "Okay, Apollo, you do not have to admit you're scared. We already know you are, especially when you play on the field." This made Apollo furious. Before he could stop himself, he screamed, "We are not scared of you, especially not on the lacrosse field. We can prove it any time." At this point, Herma and Ather were exchanging unsure looks behind Apollo. Nemesis also had a look on her face, but the look she had was amusement, like she had a plan that worked perfectly. "Alright, Apollo, prove it. 12 noon tomorrow. Your winning team gets a Nike shopping spree for the victory of the team and free equipment for the winning team." "Fine, we'll be there," Apollo said, still furious and not completely sure what he got himself into. May the best team win, Nemesis said mockingly while walking away the rest of the Outlaws. Oh, don't worry, we will, Apollo called out to her. Apollo turned around. Herma and Aether stared at him. He waited for one of them to say something. Herma was short and tan. She had black hair and green eyes. Apollo was taken back a little, like everything finally hit him. I know they do, but it doesn't have to be like that. We can play fair and follow the rules and win, guys. We've been playing together since we were 7. We aren't playing. We can show them that cheating is the only way we can win games. Apollo feels the need to make a speech before the game. He tells his team, "Come on, guys, we've been practicing this morning for an hour and 45 minutes now. We need to come out with an attitude to win the game. We need to go big or go home. So let's go out with our heads on straight and don't let the cheap shots get into your heads. Plus, we want that Nike shopping spree and new equipment. Bring it up, Titans. Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3, Titans!" Nemesis says to the team, "Come on, everybody, we have an easy victory today. Just take all the cheap shots as possible, but make sure the referees are not looking at you. Got it? Alright, we got this. Let's win." The head referee says, "Alright, instead of having a game today, we are going to do a Braveheart. It is like an actual game, but it's just a faster pace, and it will be very quick here. There will be a goalie and one player of your choice on the field. There will be a face-off, then it will be one-on-one full field. Whoever scores will get a point. Then the next 2 people go out. It will be out of 3. So that means you need 2 goals to win the game. Any questions?"